actually, this is the most important thing. This can serve as a reinforcer on its own. These are some, what I've got listed here are some of the recommendations for increasing reading fluency through repeated readings. First of all, we got to select interesting passages that are at their level. Use decodable or independent level texts with struggling readers. So this means that even if we are teaching an elementary level class, because let's face it, a lot of our students who make up our elementary level class are not necessarily at that level. They could be at a beginner's class, let's say, that would be much more, that would suit them much more. So this means that I would talk with my coordinator and make sure that I could implement a beginner's level reader in order to help those struggling students to catch up with the rest of the class, and also add in an intermediate level or a pre-intermediate level reader at the same time as a form of improving. Students can read passages to a more advanced reader. Now, this is something that can cater for one of your main difficulties. As a teacher, as one of you mentioned, you cannot monitor 35 students. So it's good to try to create small group workstations in order to have an advanced reader serve as a model, and at the same time be the main reinforcer, but at the same time also be able to provide some corrections to the students that are facing difficulties, creating this environment of inclusion for both the students who want to be challenged as they get more of a teacher role, and at the same time for the students who want, let's say, their smaller groups to feel more relaxed to participate, and at the same time to feel less shy to read out to. Establishing a performance goal on words per minute, what I mentioned in the previous activities, and how we can get a measure of accuracy level and rate. Providing feedback on performance and providing short periods of fluency practice, like the set phrases that we mentioned before, are good ways of implementing some of these interventions without necessarily escaping from the content of your teaching, right? It could be customized to fit in to your lesson and what you are teaching. This is the reader's theater. This is something that Greg has talked about in so many of his sessions. Now, what is wonderful about reader's theater, and why do we need to include play characters in our lesson and through our readers, is that apart from the fact that students have, especially when it comes to the weaker students, they feel at ease in the sense that they don't have the responsibility to deliver a great performance for the entire script. They just have to perform their line, their share of the part, their character as well as possible. So this unburdens them, let's say, of having to cope with the entire task. However, it gives them also the challenge that they have to perform well in their share of the play, and at the same time, it's also a way of developing expression, prosody, right? So through this, through reader's theater, we can get the students to have this extra reinforcement to deliver a good performance as well. Speed drills. I don't know if you're familiar with speed drills. It's something which is quite close to what we talked about before in set phrases. If you are to have a look at the lists that the words that these lists comprise of, you can see that it is high frequency words or graded word lists that make a good content, that give good content for speed drills. And if we are to think about the fact that high frequency words are, let's say, about 50 to 70% found in almost any text that the student can be encountering, the more that they become acquainted with high frequency words, and they learn to use them accurately and go through them quite fast, then the better it is for them. And of course, speed drills can be customized to fit, again, your lesson as well. So for example, it could be the target vocabulary that you have just introduced, or it could be something that a lot of you, I'm pretty sure, have been working on by learning the irregular verbs, the formation of the irregular verbs. This is a form of a speed drill that I'm pretty sure that you have gone through with your students, or they can take the form of a, if we are to stick on phonics and pronunciation, speed drill word family with a long E. So you can find the words with a long E, and just to get them to go through these. This is just indicative of the many variations that a speed drill activity can take in order to fit your lesson.